What's up, guys? Dan here. Thanks so much for joining in for today's video. So I'm going to try to get this video up by tomorrow, which will be Thursday. And Thursday is exactly 1 week from the 16th. And the 16th is when we get, hopefully, our first taste of early access of AC Evo. So that is super exciting. It is time to start a countdown. So I thought it'd be a good idea to make this video as we go into the short avenue of getting the game in hand. And I'm going to tell you what my idea of this is too, but first I want to ask you and tell me this down in the comments below. I'm curious, if you lived in a perfect world and you could have your absolute way and you could have your dream Assetto Corsa Evo, what would that entail? What would be included? Would it be a massive, really good single player game? Would it be a multiplayer racing game? Would it be a combination of the two? I know we've heard from the devs kind of bits and pieces of what they want it to be. We won't know for a while whether or not it will come to fruition and become that thing that they say it's going to be. But what I want to know is, if you had your perfect way and you could have AC Evo in any specific flavor you wanted, what exactly would it be? What type of cars would it have? Would it be a lot? Would it be a little? Would it be a career base? Would it be whatever? Just let me know in the comments. I'm curious what you guys are wanting. If it could be your dream sim, in other words, something you've been waiting for ages, what would that be? Now I'm going to tell you what that would be for me. And you've probably heard me say this before, because many times throughout the history of since I've been in sim racing and racing games in general, we've often been promised this ideal game that I would love to have, which is a very good physics-based game with a good physics system baked in, but sitting underneath a really good career-based and oriented simulation. I still want it to be like a simulation, but I want it to be a real career-based thing, kind of going back to what we used to have with like the original, Gran Turismos and the original Forzas and stuff like that. Do I think we're going to get that? Probably not. But in a perfect world, that's what I would want. I'd want to be able to start with like a very basic car and do some racing with that and build my way up and modify that car and make it faster and move my way up and build a connection with that car. It seems like today most racing games, whether you're talking about your Forzas or whatever, it's all about this collection of cars. Get as many cars as possible. And there's much less connection to like a single vehicle. And I'm not saying I would like to play the whole game with one car. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're older like me, I'm in my 40s now. If you're my age, you'll probably remember games or sims or whatever you want to call that. This is kind of how it worked. You built a connection with a specific car. And that's what I want AC Evo to be at its core. And then on top of that, I'd like to have that open world where I can drive around this creation that I've made and that I'm proud of with my friends. And I can take it out to the Nürburgring and do, like just lap, basically what I call a charity lap, just like track days. And I want to be able to do that with other people with all different kind of cars. Basically what you see on the internet when you watch YouTube videos of track days on Nürburgring, very rarely is it a race. It's just a bunch of different cars out on track having a good time. And that's what I would love to do. And the last thing that I would mention is we have heard from Kunos that they're going to piece together this open world portion of the game like in pieces. They're not going to do it all at one time. And what I think would be really cool to implement, since they're doing that, in my mind, I think it's going to work something like American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator. I'll use American Truck Simulator as example because that's where most of my viewers are probably from America. And they're adding like a state at a time. They've been doing this for years, and they spend a lot of time on each individual state so that when they release that portion, it's really, really good and doesn't need that much polishing. I kind of hope that they do that with Assetto Corsa Evo, where we're getting portions of that open world around specific areas of the track. And then this is kind of just like a dreamland in my head. Maybe it sounds crazy to you, but I think it would be cool to take that car that I've started building and be able to drive to the track, but not really get on it initially, but you still can watch people driving the track, and it'll give you something to kind of, maybe this sounds crazy. In my head, it doesn't sound crazy. Maybe it sounds crazy to you, but you know, and if we don't get the Nürburgring originally, hopefully we'll get pieces of it so that we can get to it and kind of watch as a viewer. You know, like someone watching the race or watching this track day, and then it would make it all that more special, I think, once we have full access to it. Maybe that's crazy. I don't know. But that's my thoughts. That would be my game in a perfect world. But of course, mostly I made this video because I want to know what your perfect Assetto Corsa Evo would be. So please let me know in the comments below. I look forward to hearing what you guys say, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. We'll see you later.